When we talk about the recent conflict involving the United States, Israel, and Iran, of course the war itself is already a global headline. But today, I don't want to focus only on the battlefield, because the battlefield has already been analyzed by many people. What I want to talk about first are two phenomena happening inside China, which are directly connected to this war. These two phenomena are both interesting and deeply absurd. On the surface, this is a war between the United States and Iran, but in reality, what it reveals is the absurdity of China's intellectual circles and the pathology of its public opinion environment. So this topic will be divided into 3 videos. First, I will talk about 2 surrounding phenomena. Second, I will explain why this war was almost inevitable for the United States. Third, we will discuss what this war really means for China. Let's start with the first phenomenon. After the US-Iran conflict broke out, one of the most absurd scenes on Chinese social media was this. Many of China's so-called experts, scholars, and military commentators were almost collectively wrong in their predictions. And not just slightly wrong. They were dramatically wrong, and they were confidently wrong. Before the conflict began, countless influential commentators, professors, and online opinion leaders were saying exactly the same thing. The United States will never dare to attack Iran. And then what happened? Just a few days later, the United States did exactly that. Now, being wrong in a prediction is not the worst thing. Everyone can make mistakes in judgment. The real problem is what happened after they were proven wrong.
你没事吧？
像封锁霍尔木兹海峡呢，到目前为止应该说伊朗还不太可能，因为呢它影响太大。它是伊朗的一张王牌，是杀手锏，但是呢也是最后的手段。目前还没有到那种程度。
Many of them immediately changed their tone, deleted their videos, rewrote their narratives, or even pretended they had never said those things at all. At that point, this is no longer a mistake in analysis. This becomes open intellectual dishonesty. For example, there is a very well-known professor from Fudan University, Shen Yi, who has millions of followers online. In earlier videos, he repeatedly stated with absolute certainty that the United States would never attack Iran. But after the US actually took action, just a few days later, his new video suddenly claimed, "The war between the United States and Iran unfolded exactly as I expected." Even more absurdly, when viewers reminded him of the opposite, he simply denied it.
会为了一己之私，搞得整个局面弄下去，你到最后又把特朗普弄得那么尴尬，你还那么熊，你觉得特朗普会不会做这样一道算术题？我是把内塔尼亚胡拿掉成本更低呢，还是跟着内塔尼亚胡去把美国为数不多的战略资产在伊朗身上霍霍掉？对最后整个中东地区变成一个新的泥潭，然后让美国为数不多的仅有的原先是给东大准备的国力全部烂光。我究竟选哪个啊？
拿掉，
是不是会觉得换个内塔尼亚胡会更快一点啊？
哎，你他娘的还真是个天才。
But the internet has memory. Deleting something from your own channel does not erase it from the entire internet. 4 days ago, the US absolutely will not attack. 4 days later, everything happened exactly as I predicted. Think about it. This is one of the most famous professors from one of China's top universities. If someone can behave this shamelessly, what does it mean? It means within this system, intellectual elites have turned lying and denial into basic survival skills. What's even more disturbing is this. These experts do not lose followers. In many cases, they actually become even more popular. Why? Because a large part of today's audience in China is no longer seeking facts or truth. What they really want is emotional validation. The thing they cannot accept the most is that what they previously believed might actually be wrong. Because once you admit you were wrong, it means admitting that you were misled, manipulated, or deceived. For many, that psychological cost is simply too high. So what do? They constantly look for new authorities who will reassure them, "You were not wrong, the world is wrong." And this is where these experts come in. Their role is not to explain reality. Their role is to maintain psychological comfort. They are selling emotional narcotics. The second phenomenon is even more absurd. Many of the experts who constantly talk about global politics show astonishing ignorance about the most basic knowledge. Recently, when U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio discussed the situation with Iran, he used an English expression, "unleash Chiang." Chiang refers to Chiang Kai-shek, but in this context, it's actually slang meaning unleashing a decisive move. It has nothing to do with Chinese history. Yet Chinese experts began offering elaborate interpretations, connecting it to the Civil War and historical symbolism. The problem is simple. Many didn't understand the basic linguistic context. It shows they are performing commentary theater, choosing a political position first and inventing explanations afterward. These commentators share a common trait. They are extremely ignorant, yet extremely confident. When a country's intellectual class collectively deteriorates to this level, it's no longer an individual problem. It means the entire knowledge production system has broken down. Follow me. In the next episode, I'll explain why this war was almost inevitable. See you then.